Hey, what are you doing with my tape? Do you want to watch that or something? Yeah? Alright, good here. I'll put it in. No? You want no? You still want it?
To get the best performance and economy from an engine, you must have everything in top-notch shape. It isn't enough to have all systems functioning correctly. Those systems must work together correctly. Nowhere is this more important than in spark and throttle synchronization. The ignition system and fuel system must work together to deliver optimum performance and economy. In this program, we will review the steps required to synchronize a 1986 or newer Johnson or Evinrude 88 through 110 horsepower V4 outboard. These steps are setting the timing pointer, synchronizing the throttle valve, adjusting the cam follower pickup, setting the maximum spark advance, setting the cam follower pickup timing, adjusting the wide open throttle stop, and adjusting idle speed. When you synchronize an engine, always follow the OMC service manual. The steps must be performed in the correct order as each step is dependent on the previous step. One OMC special tool is required for this procedure, a piston stop tool. This can be ordered from the OMC Special Tool Catalog. You will also need a good timing light, a tachometer, and a few hand tools. The timing pointer must be correctly adjusted to accurately determine the engine's ignition timing. If the engine has been serviced in the past, such as removal of the intake manifold, the pointer's position may no longer be accurate. First of all, remove all spark plugs. This will prevent the engine from starting accidentally and causing injury. Center the timing pointer. Turn the flywheel in a clockwise direction until it is approximately 1.5 inches past top dead center. Install the piston stop tool in the number 1 cylinder. Adjust the tool to make contact with the piston. Tighten the lock ring on the tool. Hold the flywheel firmly against the piston stop tool. Make a mark on the flywheel in line with the timing pointer. This is mark A. Turn the flywheel in a clockwise direction until the piston contacts the tool again. Make a second mark on the flywheel in line with the timing pointer. This is mark B. Use a flexible scale to find the midpoint between the two marks. Make a third mark on the flywheel at the midpoint. This is mark C. Remove the piston stop tool. Rotate the flywheel to line up mark C with the timing pointer. In this position, cylinder number 1 is at true top dead center. Hold the flywheel in this position and slide the timing pointer to line up with the top dead center mark on the flywheel. Install and torque the spark plugs following instructions in the service manual. To ensure the best engine idle characteristics, all carburetor throttle plates must be synchronized to open at the same time. Loosen the cam follower screw and move the cam follower away from the throttle cam. Loosen the linkage adjustment screw on the lower carburetor. Push down slightly on the linkage to eliminate backlash. Tighten the linkage screw. The throttle cam pickup point must be adjusted to control the relationship between the ignition and fuel systems. Hold the cam follower against the throttle cam. Advance the throttle until the mark on the cam is in line with the center of the cam roller. Tighten the cam follower screw. A simple device called a throttle amplifier can be made to check the pickup adjustment. A thin rod soldered to a spring-loaded clip will amplify the throttle shaft movement. To check the pickup adjustment, attach the amplifier to the upper carburetor. Open and close the throttle. The throttle shaft should begin to move when the mark on the cam and the roller are in line. Proper adjustment of the ignition full advance timing will ensure good performance and long engine life. To check the maximum spark advance, the engine must be run in the water with the proper test wheel. Do not run the engine with a propeller or a flushing adapter. Connect a timing light to cylinder number 1. Start the engine and run at a minimum of 5,000 RPM. Check the timing and compare it with the timing specifications in the service manual. To adjust the timing, first stop the engine to prevent contact with rotating parts. On 1986 through 1988 engines, if the timing is within 2 degrees of the correct degree mark, loosen the eccentric screw and rotate the eccentric. Tighten the screw and recheck the timing. If the timing is not within 2 degrees, move the spark control rod forward to another hole in the retainer to advance timing, or backwards to retard the timing. Each hole moves the timing approximately 4 degrees. If necessary, the retainer can be flipped for more adjustments. Be sure to reinstall the washer and cotter pin. Adjust the eccentric to make the final adjustment. Start the engine and recheck the timing before proceeding to the next step. On 1989 and newer engines, The full advance timing adjustment is controlled by a thumb wheel and a lock nut on the spark advance rod. If the full advance timing isn't correct, loosen the lock nut and rotate the thumb wheel to change the timing. Move the top of the thumb wheel toward the crankcase to advance timing or away from the crankcase to retard timing. Tighten the lock nut and recheck the adjustment. The carburetors must begin to open when the ignition timing is approximately 4 degrees before top dead center to ensure good performance and smooth acceleration. With the timing light connected to the number 1 cylinder, start the engine. Leave the engine in neutral, advance the fast idle warm-up lever to the pickup point, and check the timing. Compare it to the figure in the service manual. If the timing is incorrect, stop the engine. Loosen the jam nut and rotate the top of the thumb wheel to adjust the timing. Tighten the jam nut, start the engine, and recheck the timing. To avoid damage to the engine carburetor linkage, the wide-open throttle stop screw must be adjusted next. With the engine shut down, advance the throttle lever to the wide-open throttle position. Adjust the wide-open stop screw so that the roll pins in the carburetor shafts are vertical. To adjust the idle speed, the boat and engine must be in the water under normal operating conditions with the correct propeller installed. The boat's movement must be unrestrained. Start the engine and allow it to reach normal operating temperature. Check the idle RPM in forward gear with an accurate tachometer. If the idle speed is incorrect, stop the engine. Adjust the idle speed screw to obtain the RPM specified in the service manual. Turn the screw clockwise to increase idle speed or counterclockwise to decrease idle speed. Start the engine and recheck the idle speed. Each time the idle speed screw is moved, the throttle cable tension must be adjusted accordingly. Synchronizing an engine is a detailed procedure, but not a complicated one. If it isn't done right, the engine will not deliver the performance and economy that it was designed into it. Anytime you service an ignition or carburation system, your work is not complete until the engine is synchronized. Use the correct service manual. Follow each step in the order listed, and you can be sure your customers will leave satisfied.